Hello, this is Assembly by Wren Games. There we go, there's the box. It arrived last week. I'm very excited about it. One of the things I love about it is it comes with a really solid solo play mode. The story behind Assembly is that you've been working on an orbital platform, manufacturing luxury spacecraft. A meteor shower has hit, and a deadly virus, has wiped out everyone on the ship apart from you. So you need to finish building that luxury spaceship, lock down all the bays, and then you need to escape. Okay. The way you do that is by fulfilling a variety of commands. So let's look at how we set up. So these are the malfunction cards. Now I'm going to use, because it's a starter, on your first game I would use the blank ones, but there are plenty of different difficulties in the game that you can layer up, and some of them are more difficult, some of them help you. They're just like computer malfunctions, so they just go around like a clock face. It's very useful if you haven't got the play mat, actually just have the plain ones out. These are the blueprints, and what you're going to try and do is match up the module tokens with the correct blueprint and then lock down that bay. Okay, you've got to do all that before 3 rounds are over. So you start at 12 always and you deal round. And you start with 1 module token on the board. So we'll just pop that on the board now, and that's come out at 6. Okay, so that goes there, and that needs to be all the way over here on the VR lab. The way that we get those into place is by using commands. These 2 command cards come out and they get put in at the end of the first round and at the end of the second round. We remove some cards from the pack, 1 of each type, because this is a solo game, so it's much more difficult because you're going to play on your own. So we're left with these remaining commands. Okay. The commands that we've got to use are, we can swap, so we can swap 2 modules across, we can rotate, but if we rotate, we must rotate all of the pieces. So if, for instance, we've got this one out on here, and we want to rotate this towards where it should be, we're going to move 2 spaces. That would move that one away from where it should be. So rotate isn't always the best thing to do, it just depends. Okay, so we'll just pop that one back in. You've got draw up a module token or lock 1 or 2 bays, those are the same, and then you've got another swap there as well. And then, like I say, at the end of the first round you'll get an extra rotate, and at the end of the second round you'll get a wild card which enables you to do 1 of any of the actions available. You also get a special ability, so you just choose 1 of those at random. So I particularly like Amelie, which is prevent 1 blueprint card being shuffled during a scramble, and I'll explain that in a moment. So for the first round you deal yourself 3 cards, pop those on there, and once you've played your 3 cards you draw up again. You've got some handy little cards there that have got little summaries of what your commands are. That one's for the 2-player game, and that reminds you what to do for your deck refresh. Okay, so for the first one I'm going to draw up, and that's going to go on number 3. I'll just draw up again, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to keep drawing up at first. 5. I'm going to draw up again, so that would go on number 4. Yep. Okay. Now then, so can I get any of these? I can get them nearer to where they're supposed to be. I can't get them exactly where they're supposed to be because they're all grouped. I think I'm going to rotate 2 in that direction. So you start nearest to 12, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. As soon as some are locked, so if we get them into the correct place, let's just do that for sake of argument, draw up and then play a card. if we lock those two down, now if we rotate, so if we've got that here and we want to rotate that way, it would go 1, 2. So it skips the locked bays, and you can rotate 1 or 2 spaces. That continues until you draw up the last command card. And once you draw up the last command card, you play your next card, but then once you can't draw up again, that's the end of round 1. 2 things happen. That card from Refresh 1 goes into the deck, so the deck's slightly strengthened. But the other thing that happens, so that'll go onto the draw pile, is any that are not locked, any of the blueprints are picked up from the bays, the modules come off, these are shuffled, and then they're laid back out. So you can see it's important that if things have moved to the correct place that you try and lock them. And that's where Amelie comes in useful, because if I had one of the blueprints with the correct module on it, I could have stopped it from being shuffled and then it would have remained in the right place. Okay, so you pop those out, pop those back on. Okay, so, and then I draw up again. And then we go again. At the end of the second round, that gets shuffled in, and that's it. It's quite easy to learn, but it is quite challenging, and it's quite strategic, which I really like about it. You've got to think really careful about what order you do things in. There's an element of luck because of where these land when you roll the die, but there is also quite a lot of strategic kind of working out what to do in what order. Yeah, so that's just a really quick run through, just to remind you or give you a bit of a flavour of the game. All right then, bye.